All right, I'll call this meeting for September the 2nd, 2025. Be it resolved that the agenda for the September the 2nd, 2025 regular meeting of council be adopted. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. All in favor? It's carried. Deputy Mayor Moriaux is attending by video, as well as same as with CFO Gnida. Be it resolved the minutes of the August 19th, 2025 regular council meeting be approved. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. .2. Be it resolved that the minutes for the August the 21st, 2025 special meeting of council be approved. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Moving down to communications, 6.1. Be it resolved that the email dated August the 25th, 2025 from Rod Burchett regarding the Manitoba COPP be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Whyte. Any discussion?
And the COPP letter?
Councillor Bobick? you're
Oh,
out of
just-
order.
Going through the answers here to some of the questions, I still really can't figure out if it's possible for that, to use that vehicle.
What's the question?
Well, it's, I'm just trying to find the facts. It's about the community vehicle that is,
The chamber vehicle?
the chamber vehicle is not being used for COPP.
It's not.
So I under the understanding that if we stuck the stickers on it, it would be fine to use.
I don't know if we can answer that question. Councillor Whyte has been chomping at the bit here, so we'll go to him and then we'll come back to
Okay.
you.
I have the same dichotomy you have, sir. At the beginning, it said it sounded like it couldn't happen. Later on in this letter, it says you can.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you. So this may not be appropriate, but it can be done. So it says it can be used. So he's got a real conflict in there.
Yeah, it seemed to be, I think it says that in here. It's an opinion.
I think it comes down to the leadership of the, if it's the Swan Valley COPP and what they choose if they want them to drive. I think it makes sense. You know, I don't think there was any objections to that, but I think it just comes down to the leadership of whoever is organizing and being part of COPP. And we can't really answer that until I think that's reorganized, because I don't even know if it's operating, like if it's functioning right now. I don't know.
So who reorganizes it?
Whoever volunteers to do that, I guess, brings it back together again. So if that's something that you want to do, then yeah, that's up to the individual or somebody to volunteer to do that job.
Would it be possible somehow to put it out to the COPP members now that there's a possibility of one of them being in the new leadership or not?
I don't know who the members are. That's the problem.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm
Tewnion.
getting at. Where do you go with this?
CAO Tewnion.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest, it says right in his letter that anybody who wishes to contact him can directly contact him if you have any questions or clarification. He's invited that.
Councillor Whyte.
Because it definitely states in there that one shouldn't happen, and later on in his literature, it says it can happen unless there's some captions or advertising on there that was inappropriate. So that, to me, says it can happen. Following up on that, so it's definitely related. I met with the president of the Chamber of Commerce recently, talking exactly about this topic, COPP, and he wasn't sure where it was. He did say the chamber has, and I was in the room, has a room with radios, computers, tables, chairs, room. They have a car, and they're more than willing to provide that space and those radios and access to a large number of phones. So some are not phones, cameras without the community. So there's a room sitting 300 meters from here. Screens, radios, direct contact with the people in the COPP vehicle. It's a perfect situation, but I agree with the mayor, your worship. Until there's a leader with COPP, who do we deal with? And at the moment, I'm not stepping forward to do that. I'd encourage a community member that might want to. I'm sure council would help in that world. I would.
I guess that's my point. How do we push this forward?
Well, if it's something that you want to talk to this individual about and ask how that can be done, give him a call and see what he says.
Okay.
And then if it's going out word of mouth, saying, hey, we need to find somebody that will take on the leadership of COPP, Swan River, Swan Valley, then see where it goes from there. But
Thank you.
yeah, like he states in here, it's completely a volunteer, separate entity entirely. So with that, any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.2. Be it resolved that the building and demolition permits 3425 through 3625 with a total estimated value of $7,000 be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Reports 7.1. Be it resolved that the Chief Administrative Officer's report be received. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Councillor Whyte.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on the agenda somewhere, but I note that the CEO and members of council have had meetings with administrative staff from RCMP and the D Division, and in fact, recently with the Minister of Justice. So I'm hoping that's on an agenda somewhere where other members of council could be brought up to snuff on those meetings. And I know it's going to happen.
Anything further? Any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 7.2. Be it resolved that the log dated June the 16th, 2025 to August 22nd, 2025 from Glenda Short, Prairie Mountain Health regarding needle cleanup be received. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion. You see that the log that they have there indicating how many needles were picked up in that time period. No discussion? All in favor? It's carried. CEO Tewnion, on that, somebody asked me about that document. Do we share that on our website at all?
We could. It's on our website through the minutes. As soon as we received it, it's for everybody can see.
Okay.
We can put it as a separate.
Because somebody asked, I guess maybe who had asked them didn't know how to find it or navigate to get it, if it's in our minutes.
Yes,
So,
so if anybody wants to, what we've got a practice now that the agenda is live. Every time that I approve something on the agenda, it goes live, and then once it's received, then anybody can see it. So as of right now, somebody can go on and actually see that if they go to the agenda. It'll be an attachment on the agenda.
okay. 7.3. Be it resolved that the September the 2nd, 2025 proposal report for the town hall meeting regarding crime justice be received. Crime and justice be received. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion, you can see the proposal there. Councillor Whyte.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I'm hoping, I know there's going to be debate that we had, in the past, we had a meeting, we had a Crown attorney present, and at that time, council didn't think that would work. We had a senior Crown came out, and there was a lot of questions where he was able to answer, or she, it was a he at the time. I think that is a Crown on that list.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
On the invite list.
Pardon?
On the proposed invite list,
Yeah.
yes.
Good. This last discussion, that was kicked around, it was not going to happen as I understood it.
Because this is going to be a really important meeting for us to have, I really encourage you all to read the proposal, because we need, the CEO and I are going to both need some input if you don't agree with what we're kind of heading in what direction. So I think it's good, but I really encourage you, if you have not read that proposal, to read the proposal. Any further discussion? Councillor Whyte.
I'll be encouraging the senior member, Mr. Fortin from the Dolphin Detachment. He's not on the list there, I can see.
We never really thought about asking him if we're going to have our local here, right?
Like it could, no, I didn't specifically ask him. I mean, we have the detachment commander who's accountable for policing in the area. He may choose to have his boss, Lee Fortin, come. Don't know what council's wish is if we want to have, I mean, we invited the person in charge of policing in the area. So,
I understand what you're saying. I don't agree with that, because I think the district commander may want to get a better feeling of what's happening specifically in the valley as a whole. And I have nothing wrong with Staff Sergeant Hanson being there, not for a second, but I think as a senior administrator, it might be appropriate for him to hear what our community thinks also.
so you'd like me to add him to the list then?
I would personally, but it's up to council.
I think that, you could invite him, but you gotta remember that we're gonna have, like almost like a panel of a certain amount of people that will be able to take questions. We're not gonna because we can't let a whole 30 people talk, so we gotta make sure that we have, the more important topics and discussion with, that panel. So for him to be able to, if you're talking about Fortin being here, I don't think there's a problem with him being here, like you said. I don't know if he needs to speak, because we already have an detachment commander as well. So, but I agree with him hearing if he chooses to come.
We have two other councillors who haven't spoken.
Okay, are you taking over the chair now? Anybody else want to speak on that?
I just, you have a pretty long list there right now.
Yeah,
Till that list is verified,
yeah.
you have a very, very long, that many people up there, it's going to be hard to steer it down the right alleys.
Yeah. And that's where we have to know who is going to be attending, and then how we can kind of, form that, because some of those people may not choose to come. The two ministers told me that they want to come for sure, but the dates all have to work for them, so their deputies might be here.
Yeah,
Councillor Powell, do you have anything to say?
just to say, it's not gonna hurt to invite them or to ask them to come, whether or not you guys speak. We don't have confirmation, we guarantee them who attending, so.
I can do that, as long as he's there.
Deputy Mayor Moriaux, do you want to weigh in on that, or you're good?
No, I read the report and I'm good with the list. It would be advantageous for Mr. Horton to be in the audience or replace Mr. Hanson on the panel, but that's, as CEO Tewnion said, Staff Sergeant Hanson is the detachment commander for policing in our area, so but it would be advantage to at least inform Mr. Horton that this is going on, and it would be advantageous for him to hear firsthand people's questions.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can commit to doing that. I will certainly invite him and give him the option between him and his commander if he wants to actually be on the panel, but for sure I'll invite him.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor? It's carried. Council reports. We'll start with the deputy mayor.
Okay, Okay, not too much, just 2 meetings last week. Myself and some councillors at CO Tewnion and Mr. Harvey, we met with MTI regarding the proposed roundabout at the corner of the subway, with where the design is going, and they asked us for some information that I've asked the CEO to put on next week's committee of the whole meeting, so that we can discuss that and respond back to MTI, and then move ahead with the public consultation meeting with that, and the further design of the project. And then this morning, had a short brief meeting with Mr. Edwards, our labor lawyer, regarding completing the collective agreement, and that's still ongoing to tidy up a few things before bringing to council for final approval.
Okay,
That's all.
all right, thank you. Councillor Bobick.
Thank you, Your Worship. I also attended the meeting on the roundabout. There was good conversations on that. I think they took in some information that is valuable to certain businesses on the street that will help them when the design comes. Also a COW meeting. Also had a meeting in Roblin on the 28th of August, an airport meeting with the province, the main, like Russell, Roblin, and the Swan River. On the airport, their main goal was they're trying to look at the funding for airports, for smaller airports, to get a general idea on how the funding works. So the conversation went to daily inspections, birds came up, snow removal costs, and landing fees. They all the airports seem to have the same issues, dilemmas that we issue here too. So it was actually really good. It's going to be carried on. They said they're going to be at the AMM, so it's an ongoing thing. So it was more or less them looking for information. Just there talking with the CEO of Roblin, just speaking of asphalt, they're under the same impression right now. They're just waiting to see. They're not going to do any paving this year. I'm waiting for somebody to bite the bullet and find a new contractor. It's almost in the same program we are, so it's something to be watching. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Powell.
No, pretty much just about the same. The meeting on the roundabout, it's quite interesting to see how, as I wasn't part of that in the very beginning, so it's interesting to hear how that all partake. And also on the cow, and the cow, so that's it.
Okay. Councillor Whyte.
Yeah, relatively busy again. Had the pleasure of being able to attend the meeting with MTI relative to the roundabout, and I think most of that was covered. One of the comments was made is there was a safety concern, and this thing hypothetically is safer, and it had a width of 5 meters plus, 5.2 meters, so it's relatively wide. Councillor Bobick was concerned about big trucks, and he was concerned about farming equipment and the potential and the impact on some of the local businesses who were right close there. So very informative. I don't believe it'll be the end of more meetings to come soon. On the August 21st, myself, and I want to thank CEO Tewnion and Uriah. We set up a meeting with our MP Dan Mazur, MLA Wolchuk, Gillian McGrath from Immigrant Services, Ruprenda Patel from the local industry, and we have roughly 10 or 20 people who have immigrant workers, and it looks like plus or minus 40 are in jeopardy of losing their passports, their working visas, and that in fact could affect up to 100 plus people. So MP Mazur had some ideas which we shared. It was involved. Send him a letter, send us a letter. So Emily Wolchuk and myself will get those letters. And the work visas are a big concern, and man, I'm concerned if we lost 40 workers out of our town. We have 100 people around them with their families. So that's a big deal, and I will keep you posted as I find out more. And then a special meeting on August 21 to discuss finances and speed up our getting our taxes out, which went really well. And then the 21st was another one which didn't happen, so that's it, the roundabout, the RCMP and the Immigrant Services, so that covers mine, thank you.
For me, this kind of goes back before our last meeting, because I wasn't on our last meeting. I started some discussions with Minister Smart, Minister for Municipal Relations, in regards to our crime and some of the other issues that we have with homelessness or transient people that are populating parts of the town and bringing the trouble that comes with that. And also with Mike Kelly as well. So they had reassured me that they would want me to speak to the Department of Justice. So I actually had a call then with the Deputy Minister there, and I basically told them that our police need help. There's sure we have the GIS coming, but that's not here yet. And I told them our RCMP need help, and there needs to be something done. And I realized or he realized that this is all happening in a lot of other communities, but Swan River is a small community like the Paw, and we just can't handle this, and we need help from the province. So they had promised that they were going to get back to me, so I'm still waiting on that. I nudged him again, but I did speak to him again a little bit last week when I was in Winnipeg at the legislature. I did have a good call with Deputy Minister Claus, that's of MTI, and the discussion there was what's happening with Ditch Road. We talked a lot about the signage around town, the east entrance of the town east entrance with the trees and the weeds or whatever in the ditches, and asking him if they can find some money to clean that up, because they do such a good job of our north entrance. It would be nice to have them cleaned out so that they're easier to maintain. We talked about Highway 10 North. Again, that's out of our jurisdiction, but it's an area where part of a lot of people come to our town, and there's areas of Highway 10 North that are in really bad shape. Not as bad as Ditch Road, but definitely they're in tough shape. He reassured me that they have that in a capital plan, but they are doing some work this year and next year, so I don't know if they're going to do everything what I was asking about. And I also talked to him about the road that's in front of the service road in front of OK Tire, and asked if the department could find some money to maybe repave that, because that's been pretty nasty for a long time. And I know the town paved that, but it is MTI's road, and we're hoping that maybe we can convince them to do something about that road. About Ditch Road, I can tell you that he told me, so we all know how long we've been talking about Ditch Road for. So they tell me that Ditch Road will be going into a capital design process in 2028, and the project will be done in 2030. So that's how long everybody on Ditch Road is going to have to wait to see a new road. Now, I did tell him that we will be meeting with the minister in the fall, and maybe we can nudge him to move that project up, but they haven't even gone to the design stage yet. So, and I remember talking to the minister 5 years ago. In fact, it's been longer than that, but we've been talking earlier about how long things take and when you push, but this has been a long time. I also, last week when I was in Winnipeg, I was invited by the leader of the opposition, Harvey, to come and visit with him in his office. So we had some discussions about the issues that we have in our community, crime and funding on different projects and all that. But he reassured me that he will work on our behalf as well. So we'll keep with the ministers and whatever we can, and we'll have keep our opposition also in check. That's it for me. I'm on my agenda now. Okay, so moving on to 8.1. Whereas Councillor Duane Whyte was appointed as a representative to the Northwest Regional Welcoming Communities Partnership on August the 19th, 2025, by Resolution 2025-365, be it resolved that Mayor Lance Jacobson be appointed as backup representative of the Northwest Regional Welcoming Communities Partnership. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. That doesn't mean I'm taking over your responsibility.
I'm glad you're there, buddy. Looking forward to working with you. Let me know all the meetings.
Be it resolved that the Swan Lake Watershed District audited financial statements for the year ended March the 31st, 2025 be received. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? Councillor Bobick, is there anything there that you want to point out?
Just that one of our fundings was lessened by $80,000 this year. The watershed carries the reserve funding. Yeah, just to
Thanks, Steve. Councillor Whyte.
Just a compliment to the watershed and their team, led by Councillor Bobick. Obviously, spend a lot of money in the valley as a whole. So everything out there helps us, obviously, and they spend money in the town of Swan River and Riverbank, for example. So thank your team for us, please, Councillor.
Did you have a question in there?
No?
Okay.
Will you thank your team?
There you go. Any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Be it resolved that the council authorizes the chief administrative officer to organize and coordinate a town hall event on the topic of crime, justice, and homelessness. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? I'll just add that I have been speaking with Mayor Murphy from the PAW, and they're also going to be having an event just exactly like this. Maybe it might be a little bit different than ours, but we've been sharing back and forth what we're planning on doing, what they're planning on doing. And I'm probably going to travel up to the PAW to watch or be part of their, not be part of it, but observe their community meeting.
Yeah, yes, Your Worship. I think that's an excellent idea. We don't need to recreate the wheel. And we can see the strengths of their meeting and areas of opportunity. And if I'm available, I'll certainly go with you.
Okay. All in favor? It's carried. Did you have a question?
Is there a date plan for that?
For the PAW?
Yeah.
September.
It's not, we're waiting to see when we can get people, sort of like putting the cart before the horse. We're looking at the end of September. So we're hoping
For
for.
ours or for the PAW?
Oh, sorry.
He was talking about ours, but the PAW, yes, he did say a date, but they didn't. It's not been
Okay.
public yet.
Okay,
So, but it is in September.
okay, perfect. Thank you
From
for
what I understand.
clarification on both.
Yeah, and once I know, I can let you know as well. I'll let everybody know about it. So. 8.4.
Sorry, was that carried, Your
It was.
Worship? Is that carried?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Whereas administration consulted with the other councils regarding a suitable date for the upcoming G4 meeting, be it resolved that council endorses September the 29th, 2025 as the date for the G4 meeting based on the outcome of that consultation. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion, I'll just add that I will not be here that day. I'm gone away that whole weekend. All in favor? It's carried. 10.1. Be it resolved that the following accounts be received. Payroll accounts, checks number P5584 to P5586, and direct deposit payments totaling $139,680.06 as listed on Schedule A. Direct deposit payments totaling $2,273.26 as listed on Schedule B. Moved by Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 10.2, be it resolved that the following accounts be approved for payment. General accounts checks number 33-170 to 33-189 totaling $24,938.87 is listed on Schedule A. Direct deposit payments totaling $26,452.04 is listed on Schedule B. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 10.3, whereas the town of Swan River used municipal equipment, materials, and labor to carry out private works on private property under the Municipal Act Clause 252E and set the fees and charges for the works under Clause 252(1)A of the Act. And whereas sufficient time has been allowed for payment of such outstanding amounts as listed on the attached Schedule A totaling $3,230.64, be it resolved that each of the unpaid amounts listed on Schedule A be added to the corresponding property tax roll and collected in that manner, and be further resolved that the notice be sent to each property owner detailing the amounts being added to the taxes and advising that interest will accrue on the said amounts in the same manner as for unpaid property taxes effective October the 1st, 2025. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 11.1. Be it resolved the bylaw number 18/2025 being a bylaw of the town of Swan River to establish an incentive program for construction developments be read at first time. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yes, I asked this to be come back for first reading again. It was defeated at the last meeting, but I think through some additional discussion among council to address some of the concerns that was brought forward that could have potentially been solved through some more discussion versus defeating the motion. The motion. I think we could work out to have an amended incentive bylaw. So I'm bringing it back, and then we can discuss concerns and potential solutions before we bring it back for second reading.
Okay. Further discussion? Councillor Bobick.
So when and where can we ask our questions and go through the discussion, because it won't be able to be unless some calculations are done prior to.
Well, the calculations, anybody can do the calculations if that's what you're wondering, but the discussion on this here will be probably at our next COW meeting if anybody wants to bring that up during that time. But here is a good time if you want to make amendments to it, you can make amendments to it or recommend amendments. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's the thing, is that there needs to be some, just some clarification and a little bit more, discussion on some of the things that are gonna happen. So, yeah, I would definitely be in favor of, bringing it to the next COW and having some clear discussion, but I guess, yeah, and just, really breaking it down as to what this is gonna entail over, and what exactly the plan is for the next 5 years, if we were to go along with this.
You wouldn't know that because you don't know what development's gonna happen.
No, you don't know what's gonna happen, but just exactly where, I guess comparing it from what we have now to this, basically, just a comparison.
Okay. So what you wanna see is what the current bylaw is? Have you seen the current bylaw?
Yeah, I've seen the current bylaw, but just what exactly.
Because I'm just, so that administration right now is wondering, okay, what are we asking? So and for them to go ahead and start doing stuff or anything, they need to know what we're talking about. Like, what are we asking for, if there is an ask? Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yeah, so I'm willing to, if council wants to send me their concerns or questions and any type of information that they would like calculated, forward it to me, and I will do what I can and have administration help me provide those answers to you, should this pass at the Powell meeting next week.
Okay. Councillor Bobick.
I would like to ask a question now at a council meeting, not just send it out to somebody. What I'd like to see is the value of each one of these, and their classes and the full assessment value. See what would the repercussions be or what would not be collected by this. So I use the full assessment of $199,999 for 1 year. What would that be collected if there was no incentive program in each one of these classes?
Okay, and do you want to compare that to what we offer right now?
Exactly, yeah, that would be great.
Okay, because I think that's important,
Yeah,
because
that's it.
right
You're
now
right.
we're offering it as an incentive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, any further discussion? Go ahead.
Just to general comment, we talked about it at length at many meetings. I think we have to look on the future. I don't want to deal with the past. The past, history repeats itself. That's what I know about history. And we have some incentives, and we have people who are nudging us, that are helping or asking for more encouragement. And if we want economic development in our community, 3 empty lots, for example, bringing us nothing, potentially if they all had something on, yes, but they don't. And we have a commitment from another individual or two who want to spend millions. I don't think there's any question. I would take the gamble of having more development as opposed to the zero we have right now in this instance.
Okay. Go ahead.
I could just seek some clarity, Your Worship, because we did provide the red line version before, Councillor Powell. It says, here's the old one, here's the new one with distinct showings of what the difference was. So I want to make sure I'm clear on what you want me to do, because I did provide that before. And Councillor Bobick, if you want to tell me what, like I did a quick figure of a $600,000 home, can you tell me what value of a home you would like to see? Because
Well,
there's different levels as well, right?
Well, I would use all your structured classes. So you got A, B, C, D. So go 199, 499, 99. Each one of those 3 years at that price, what would that taxes would be collection?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Based on this year's mill, because
Yeah, that's
those
right.
years
Yeah,
have changed.
yeah, you're right. Exactly. I guess one other comment I'd like to suggest is that I would also like to see, without the service charges in there, and just municipal taxes being paid and not service charges.
You mean our
Or service
special,
levies, yes.
special service levies?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And anybody can make amendments to any of these, you know, when we can sit down and talk about them. All right, so with that, we'll take a vote. All in favor? It's carried. All right, moving on, notice of motion. Being none. Members' privilege. We'll start with Councillor Whyte.
Just a couple of quick comments. Last week, we had a very animated discussion with some of our constituents who met with council after one of our other meetings. And it's always good to get new ideas and share ideas and see where things are going. I think it's imperative that the council, I don't know what I'll say this, our bosses, the constituents in the town of Swan River, if they want to meet with any council member, I'm very sure that there's not a council member that would refuse that meeting. It may not happen immediately, but of course we'll meet with you, of course we'll talk with you. That's how we improve our community, by having the community have feedback or direction to us. So somehow I hear sometimes, well, you guys don't listen. I take offense to that. We listen. Can we always do things? Not necessarily. The other thing, I had lunch very recently with a senior RCMP officer from another community, and it doesn't make it better, but he said in 24 hours they had 75 calls to deal with in their community for concerns that the RCMP had to deal with. So we're far from where we'd like to be from a crime perspective. We're getting better. GIS is closer than it's ever been. Hopefully, that's good. And we work well with the RCMP. They're doing their best. And if there's stuff happening, please contact the RCMP. That's what it's all about. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Councillor Powell.
I guess just a few things. Just a very big congratulations, I guess, to Home Hardware and to their big move. And I think a lot of people welcome this space, and it'll be a great area for them. I guess the other big thing is wondering what's going in the other room or in the other building. I guess that's a big talk. I guess for me though, I have had some conversations with probably about 8 people in the last little while, wondering what is happening on Spec Road with that whole thing that's gone on over there. So I have had lots of people calling and wondering and wanting to know what is happening. So,
And did you reach out to find out what has happened there?
I've told them what
Okay, very
I
good.
am to tell.
Okay, perfect. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yeah, so, nothing much for me. I just wanna, say thanks to the rec department for getting the ice into the Centennial Arena in a timely manner this year. I haven't heard any feedback of any major glitches there, and it sounds like the Stamps camp went off without a hitch and proceeded. And tonight, I guess, is the first game. Stampeders pre-schedule, so go Stampeders.
Very good, thank you.
That's all.
Thank you. Councillor Bobick.
Just to mention that the staff from the watershed went over and watered the trees on 4th Avenue South there that were planted this year, because they just were concerned about them, so they took it under their own wing to go and water the trees. And they have been given another drink, because I think our staff are all busy in Centennial there, so they do keep an eye on the trees.
Good.
Just, it surprises me when you talk of the ditch road in the years that'll be fixed, but it's awful surprising how they can build a roundabout in a quick blink of an eye. And I'd like to know how many millions of dollars that will cost. In my theory, the ditch road is much more important than a roundabout right now. And I was wondering, that would be, to me, would be a safety hazard far greater than what's a roundabout would be. And we could hang a turning light there until we get the ditch road done and put the roundabout on the second one. That's my thoughts.
Okay. Councillor Whyte.
Councillor Powell was reminding me that there's 2 other new businesses in town, the Xylo and Bloom. I made a point of going there today. All sorts of interior things for homes, and a young couple are going out on a limb, investing money in our community, paying taxes, hiring staff. And there's another company right across from Chicken Chef. They've got the furs and all that things in, and they rent space. It's a neat concept. They've got, I think it's 35 individual small companies renting space. They offer stores you can sell your product on whatever. So I apologize for not having their name on the tip of my tongue. So thank all those people who are investing in our community. It's appreciated.
CFO Gnida.
Yeah, we got the property tax bills out last week, so thank you to the province and to our staff for going the extra mile to get them out on time.
Yes, and thank you for that. CEO Tewnion.
Today's my last day of probation. That's all I have to say.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations. It's not midnight
Did you
yet.
get the letter?
No, didn't I,
Didn't read all the resolutions, did you?
Is that all you had to say?
That's all I have, Your Worship. Thanks.
Okay, good. For me, Swan Valley Health Facilities Foundation. Today I received a check from the Kenville United Church, who they have closed their doors and they've sold their assets off, and they've donated several thousands of dollars across the valley. And the Swan Valley Health Facilities Foundation today received $5,000. So we thank them for supporting the foundation and all what it does, and purchasing equipment and it's necessary for our patients in our hospital and our other facilities. I'm looking forward to this community safety meeting. Like I said earlier, I've spoken quite a bit with Mayor Murphy from the PAW, and when him and I have our conversations about what's happening in our communities, it's the same thing. Everything is the same thing. Even, you know, our Catholic Church, where now they have to build a fence around their property, which is wrong, to protect their buildings and from whatever else goes on in there. But the Paw has the same thing happening to a church in their community as well. And they're moving ahead with their community safety meeting too. It's going to be, I think it's going to be ahead of ours, and I do plan on attending that, like I said before. Mayor Murphy also wants him and I to travel to Winnipeg together and go and see the Premier and the ministers about this. We feel that the province has been hearing our cries since at least last year, maybe even longer. But when we talked about our resolutions on needles last year, and we talked about the distribution of needles and the hundreds of thousands of needles that were being distributed and the crime issues that we're having that was coming along with it. There was some press coverage for a little while, but now it's gone, and it just feels like we're just being completely ignored. And Mayor Murphy feels that way and wants both of us to attend to see, like I said, the Premier and the ministers. Again, with the public meeting, to have the public be engaged and the public be able to say something. I think the public wants to say something, and we need to hear them, and not only us, because we've been hearing from them, but the province and the agencies that are a part of this, they need to hear what the people have to think, because they live here. They're the ones that are paying the taxes, and they want to make sure that we have a good, safe community. And it might be some tough stuff to hear, but they need to hear this, because there's a lot of people out there thinking that we have all this power that we don't have. One person sent me an email saying we should I should call in the army and haul these people away. Well, I don't have no authority to call in the army. I don't even think the Premier can call the army. So the commander is the Prime Minister. But anyway, whatever. But there's a whole bunch of people that I don't think they know we don't have all these superpowers that people think that we have. And I think that it'll come out in this community safety meeting. Last week, our friend Chris Brown from Cross Border Network was in town. He was making a little tour through the province and phoned me up last Wednesday night. So I took him around and I toured him around Swan River and showed him everything that Swan River is all about. And he was pretty impressed. He didn't have the opinion that we are this horrible place to live. He's seen a really nice place to live, and he feels bad about all the things that are happening. But again, he goes to a lot of communities and he sees a lot of stuff too, and hears all the cries from other communities from Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba. And lastly, I think is on my notes that kids are going back to school. So remember the school zones. Our school zones are enforced. If people think that they're not. And they are enforced 24/7, 365 days a year. And our school zones, which are 30, are completely legally enforced. So if anybody hears otherwise, it's not true. School zones are 30, so don't be speeding in school zones, and watch for kids crossing and moving, because there's new ones that are going to school that for the first time, and of course some new ones that are going to be driving as well. So with that,
Your worship.
If I may, just one more thing. I was kind of making a joke there, but I would be remiss not to point out CFO Gnida credited, as any good leader would, credited the staff under us. He was the quarterback for that whole thing with the fiasco, I would call it, getting our tax bills out by Friday afternoon, because it was a long weekend. So I just wanted to thank him officially for all his hard work behind the scenes.
okay, thank you. And all council appreciates that, and you recognizing Mr. Gnida for all the work that he does with that situation and everything else. He's a huge asset in our in this organization. Be it resolved that pursuant to sections 152(3) of the Municipal Act, council will go into committee and close the meeting to the public. We have a legal matter to discuss. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. All in favor? It's carried. So we're on camera. 16 items arising on camera. 16.1. Be it resolved that the council authorized the issuance of the proposed letter to the RCP as directed during the in-camera session held on September the 2nd, 2025. It was moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Be it resolved, this regular meeting of the council now be adjourned at 8:20 p.m. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.